important in terms of who progresses through to the knockout stages of this under-20 AFCON. Suez Canal Stadium, as you can see, not quite full to its capacity of around 22,000, but a few in attendance who have made the trip east across the Mediterranean coast and north of Africa, and who will watch on, hoping it's their side who will secure a place in the final 8 here on this sunny Wednesday afternoon in Egypt's 13th largest city. These two drawn in Group B alongside record 7-time champions Nigeria and underdogs Kenya. Indeed, the underdogs was putting up a great fight against Morocco on match day 1, are already eliminated. There's a decent chance all 3 of the other sides in Group B could go through. Top 2 will get automatic qualification, and there are 2 more spots available in the quarterfinals for the 2 best third-placed sides. That is across 3 groups. Gets a little complicated in Group A, which is the only 5-team group. Their results against the bottom side will be discounted to make everything nice and even and fair. But yes, whilst Zambia currently sit on 5 points in Group A, having already played 3, in Group C, the other 4-team group, just 1 point for Senegal. Surprisingly, the reigning champions in a fair bit of trouble, and they will come up against group leaders DRC on the final round of games. So decent position here for currently 3rd place Tunisia, who already have 3 points to their name after beating Kenya last time out. A draw would quite probably be enough to see them through. Morocco will want to secure their qualification with at least a draw, preferably all 3 points, try and remain at the top of...
For those who love it, those who support it, and those who play it, Orange is here. Orange, proud sponsor of African football.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in the tunnel, ready to head out to the Ismailia turf. Hugely important 90 minutes of football ahead of these 2 young sides. Very special moment for the 22 on the pitch, so too those on the sidelines for now, hoping to get involved later. Very proud moment as well, I'm sure, hearing their national anthem play out in their honour. We will now take a brief pause for the 2 countries' anthems.
ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Tunisia.
Sung out loud and proud by the Tunisians, now over to their Moroccan counterparts. Sharifian anthem played out. Before that, for Tunisia, it was Humat al-Hima. Translates to defenders of the homeland. How much defending will this Tunisia 11 find themselves doing over the next couple of hours? Do they try and hold out for a draw against currently the best side in Group B, or do they go for the jugular, try and top the group themselves, potentially? It is, as you can see, Zouaghi between the sticks. Dubal, who's 1 yellow away from a suspension, as is Meherzi and Ayari. Dubal in the back forward, Bukatida, Alela, Debali, Anan and Kordi join Meherzi in midfield. Buznina leads the line, flanked by Ayari and Nassim Dendani of Monaco. And it's AS Monaco in the French top flight. No Monegasque heritage, as far as I'm aware. Two captains now meet in the middle. Alela for Tunisia, and Hossem Esadak for Morocco. Abdallah Jameh is your referee this afternoon. We'll hope for nothing too contentious to deal with. If there is anything, he will be supported by VAR. Abdul Aziz, Yasir Ahmed Abdulaziz, the lead man in the VAR office. As for the Moroccan 11, fair few changes through the group stage. Man with the armband on matchday 1, Muad Dayak, will watch on from the bench for now, as will Othman Mama, who's one of their most significant creative outlets. Julien Mesbahi as well, playing a fair amount of the tournament thus far. But it is a 4-3-3 setup chosen by Mohamed Wabi. Ben Chaush does remain between the sticks. Kutun, Balf, Bakhti and Zaiwani, the back four. Boukamir Awad and captain Esadak in midfield. The number 9 leads the line, Ayman Ergig, with El Haddad and Umar Saudi on the wings. Final moments then for the players to steady themselves, take a deep breath, try and settle those nerves. Let the butterflies free. Lady Trowie watching on from the sidelines. Abdoulaye Ben Sultan and Mohamed Wabi have done all they can. As the referee looked at his watch, it is now time for the countdown, and it's over to the players to do their thing. So the referee blows the whistle, and away we go in Ismailia. Match day 3 of this year's Total Energies CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Tunisia take on Morocco in Group B, the final round of matches in the group. All to play for this side, just 1 point between them. Currently first and third, Morocco at the top of the group. But anything could happen. Nigeria and Kenya, of course, also playing their final group game simultaneously. We'll keep you up to date on goings-on there, which will, of course, affect the Group B standings and quite possibly how these two approach matters here. Tunisia in all white with the red trim, shooting from left to right as we watch on in this first 45. Morocco in their traditional red and green. And their centre-back Ismail Bakhti earning an early free kick. About a minute on the clock there. Just bumped into a little late by Fares Bouznina. Lovely footwork there by Umar Saudi. Plenty of quick feet in these two teams. Lots of technical ability. Morocco currently undefeated in their last 11 games at the Under-20 AFCON in open play. Last open play defeat was a 4-0 loss to Egypt in their final group game in 2003. That also their last defeat in the group stage. That is, though, in part due to a fairly lengthy absence from the competition. Didn't qualify between 2005 and 2021, Morocco. Return here after missing out on the 2023 edition as well. It was a quarter-final exit in their last appearance in 21, despite not conceding a goal in any of their 4 games. Appearing in a tournament in North Africa for just the 2nd time, alongside 1997 when they were hosts. And on that occasion, they were winners. Their single triumph in the Under-20 AFCON. Can they match up to that in North Africa, if not on home soil this time? Well, the free kick was threatening from Khalil Ayari, but somehow missed by everyone. Alaeddin Dehbali, one of those, couldn't quite get a boot on that low ball into the box. kick. Mohamed Annan brought down. Promising start here from Tunisia. Ismail Awad. Clumsy in the challenge there. Clear-cut free kick. And now another worry for the Moroccan backline. And Yanis Benchaush. Straight towards the keeper, punched it clear, taking no chances. Be picked up by Ayari. Nice feet once again to trick his way past Ilyas Boumassaoudi. And then winning a corner off the next man. Flurry of set pieces here for Tunisia in the opening 5 minutes or so. Got Morocco on the back foot, plenty of jostling as you'd expect in the area. Referee's got a keen eye on it. Goes into a good area with a decent amount of pace, but Ismail Baouf sending it at least partially clear. Meherzi lifts it back towards the box. Zaouani high into the air, lovely touch to bring it down, but it was already off the pitch. Just testing the referee's patience a touch there as he threw the ball away, escapes with nothing more than a warning from the main man in black. He won't want to try his patience too often, particularly those within a booking of a suspension. Ayari is one of those. That decision goes against him. Good solid punch from Benchaush. Could argue he could have caught it, but better safe than sorry, certainly at this point in proceedings. Reassuring first commanding piece of keeping. Settle his defence, perhaps. Follow along with the hashtag Total Energies AFCON U-20. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering on, what has got you off your seat in the opening 7 or so minutes here. Bukamir wins it back in midfield and looks to set away El Haddad. Another bright spark down the wing for Morocco, along with Mama in the first couple of games. He has won Morocco the corner of their own now. Boumassaoudi and Esadak will head over to the corner flag here. It'll be the former to take. It's whipped in. Zouagi also getting a decent punch on the ball and looking to set away a Tunisian counter here. Oh, just delayed and delayed. Waited for the perfect moment, but in the end it was a significantly overhit pass there. Chance goes begging. It's won back quickly though by Annan, who heads for goal, gets his shot away straight at Benchaush. First real test for the keeper. First shot on target. One which he has produced an answer to. Would have been very disappointed to be beaten from there. Nonetheless, done everything asked of him thus far. Corner is overhit, and Ben Schelsch going to breathe a hit with a goal kick. We spoke about Morocco's absence from the under-20 AFCON. Tunisia had an even longer one, also returned in 2021, but after more than 3 decades, didn't manage to qualify for any of the tournaments between 91 and 2019. 1989, their previous appearance, before making their return in 21, and they've done well since getting back into the mix. Finished 4th at each of the last 2 editions. This is their 9th appearance in total at the under-20 AFCON for Tunisia. Managed 6 in a row between 79 and 89, finished runners-up in 85. Well, that semi-final in each of the previous 2 sent them on to the under-20 World Cup. That is the goal, of course, for every team here, along with lifting the trophy. The World Cup spot arguably equally important to these teams. As ever, 18th edition, 25th, including tournaments without a host of the under-20 AFCON, is also serving as the qualifiers for the under-20 World Cup. 4 semi-finalists will be the CAF representatives at the tournament in Chile later this year, September and October. Reigning champions Uruguay will not be there to defend their title. Finished 5th in the South American Under-20 Championship. That's continued the curse of the winners. And that's now 8 in a row of the holders who have failed to qualify for the next tournament. Africa traditionally performed pretty strongly at the Under-20 World Cup, as Ayari wins a free kick for Tunisia. Nigeria, twice runners-up, 89 and 2005. Mali, twice bronze medalists. Ghana lifting the trophy in 2009. 2019, Amadou Sanya. Senegal made the record for the fastest ever goal in an Under-20 World Cup after just 9.6 seconds. Will there be history in the offing for the 4 semi-finalists in this tournament? Will Tunisia and Morocco find themselves in that final 4? Either, perhaps both, not an impossibility. Not quite kept in by Anis Dubal in the eyes of the officials. Their Group B as it stands. Still level pegging in both sides, both games I should say, between the 4 sides in Group B. There have, though, been 2 goals already in the match. at the 30th of June Stadium in Cairo. Kenya opened the scoring after just 6 minutes through a penalty. But a moment ago, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria have leveled things up. Kenya looking to finish with their heads held high. They can do that anyway. We're unfortunate to find themselves on the wrong end of that 3-2 scoreline against Morocco on match day 1. There, Boukamir, the latest to give away a free kick to Tunisia. Knocked on by Kutun to Awad. But pretty quick tempo early on. This match just settling down now into kind of rhythm I would have expected. Two traditionally somewhat cautious sides, particularly when it comes to match day 3. Particularly in this kind of situation. So many permutations, but here's a chance for Morocco. It was brought across by Zaiwani. Tunisian defender in the way. They can now look to turn this into a counter. That though is played behind Dendani. Couldn't get there. Dendani, Monaco Academy graduate, as mentioned in the build-up, has played in the UEFA Youth League for Les Monégasques. Number of players across the two sides who are at French clubs. A couple of Dendani's teammates as well. Buznina of Nice, local rivals of Monaco, and Dubal of Monaco, also Boukedida of Saint-Etienne. That pair might be worked here. Dubal at left back, not able to block the cross, but well over everyone waiting in the middle in the end. Dendani coming up against a Monaco Academy teammate as well, Yanis Benchauch, in the Morocco goal. He's also a young Monegasque. There'll be no love lost though, I'm sure, between them. Now focused on duties for their country rather than club. So far, it is Morocco with clearly more of the possession, almost 60%. It's felt like either side could open the scoring though. Both getting forwards. Tunisia with the only attempt either on or off target thus far, officially. So plenty more action in the other Group B finale thus far. A long way to go. Good hour and a quarter of play. Even when Kenya briefly took the lead against Nigeria, Tunisia wouldn't have found themselves in an automatic qualification spot. The first separator, 4 teams on level points, is the head-to-head. To start the discussion permutations as Thomas Suwagi is forced out of his goal there. Brave keeping, throwing himself at the feet of the Moroccan attacker, and importantly so. Yes, of course, Tunisia with that 1-0 defeat on matchday 1 to the 7-time champions. That will be the difference between the two, should they both end up on 4 points here. If things were to stay the same here and Kenya could nick a win against Nigeria, they'd be looking towards the best third-place team spot, though. I think we could see a pretty cautious approach from both here. A draw would suit them both reasonably well. We'll look to, of course, snatch all 3 points if they can, but could easily come down to a single goal in this game. Referee blowing for a Moroccan free kick, earning the ire of some of the Tunisians on the pitch and on the sidelines. Certainly had a handful of Boukamir's shirt there, Mohamed Anan. Raking ball out to the left towards Dendani. Kutun deals with it and looks to push on up the right wing. Another free kick. Kutun left in a heap, holding his left thigh. Dendani turned 19 exactly a week ago. He's deceptively strong. Number 18. Using his strength and weight there illegally in the eyes of the referee. One back by Ayari. Will now settle for himself. Pass was cut out, however, by Esadak. Return ball was just a touch light there from Anders Cordy, but immediately made amends and won it back. No shots at all thus far for Morocco. The draw with Nigeria last time out was the first time across their last 2 appearances at the Under-20 AFCON in which they failed to register a shot on target. That cagey 0-0 draw between the 2 teams you'd have to say were the favourites coming into this group. Smart play from Ayari, inviting the foul, shielding the ball. Bouma Saudi took the bait. Maybe a touch fortunate, in truth, having slightly tripped over the ball, but made it work. And now a dangerous free kick for Tunisia. Look to test Ben Shelsh again. Floated in towards the back stick, headed goalwards. But Ben Shelsh passes another test, deals with another shot on target, one he would have expected to deal with, though. Not enough power on the header to truly test him. Tunisia quickly win it back. Sayouani calmly brings the ball under control. Has Bouma Saudi ahead of him. Have to settle for a throw for now. Abdullah Ben Sultan watching on. 58-year-old Tunisia coach. Could be pretty pleased with that inside start here. Might have had less of the ball, but they've done more with it. Also former Tunisia under-17 coach, Ben Sultan. That was over a decade ago now. In between then and now, a number of clubs around North Africa. 3 times in charge of Maghreb of Fez in Morocco, so knows Moroccan football well and use that to his advantage. Only appointed about 3 weeks ago. Al Haddad. Far better passing accuracy as well. Morocco kind of comes with the territory, I have to say, when holding on to the ball and retaining possession wherever possible. All those stats will build up. Save passes where Tunisia are playing riskier balls and trying to break away on the counter. Thus far, the two cancelling each other out with a little over 25 minutes played thus far. We led that Tunisia under-17 team to the Under-17 World Cup in 2013, reached the round of 16. Ben Sultan. Here though, his team are on the back foot. Bukakida doing enough there against their gig. A lot of the Tunisian attacks coming down the left thus far. Looking to use pace and trickery of Dendani. Two wingers have remained on their respective wings. In this opening half an hour, you often see wingers switching back and forth to keep the opposition fullbacks guessing. Often switching between regular and inverted wing roles. On this occasion, sticking to their initial positions. See if that remains the case throughout the game.
Anas, come here. Arkash!
Discuss Tunisia's approach to this game and whether they may choose to be cautious. Look for that point that would secure most likely qualification one way or another. That's one of the best third-place sides. Will need the win to get into the top two. Whatever happens between Kenya and Nigeria, but how much should Morocco commit to trying to remain at the top of the group? After that goalless draw with Nigeria, it will come down to goal difference between Atlas Cubs and the Flying Eagles. It could have been picked up by anyone, but Tunisia escape. Another nervy moment there. Morocco just trying to assert their authority on proceedings now as we tick towards the half-hour mark. Doing more with their possession. Sayouani knocks it on to Saudi to win another corner. Currently top of the group, Morocco, courtesy of goals scored. Identical goal difference to Nigeria, both +1 coming into this one. Nigeria have, of course, now scored another. So it's currently, in the live standings, 5 points apiece. Still +1 apiece. 3 goals scored for Morocco, 2 for Nigeria. So our benefits to being top of the group.
And there is a VAR, okay? 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 Where is the penalty, okay?
VAR is there to support him, and he's not afraid to give a penalty. Punched away by Zouaghi. Fair bit more work to do for the Verona keeper in the last 5 minutes than there was in the early stages. Thus far, like Ben Schausch down the other end, hasn't had any especially nervy moments. Come Morocco again, Bouma Saudi finds his way past Cordy, gets it into the middle. Couldn't pick out a teammate. It's a Tunisia player who's gone down in his own box. Shot from range is tipped over by Zouaghi. Really well hit. Tunisia complain that should have been a free kick. It was Derbali left in a heap in his own box. 19-year-old right back, not best pleased, was caught a touch late there by Ismail Awad. Look at that strike on the bounce from the Moroccan captain, Hossam Esadak. Close enough for Zouaghi. But Saudi moving, flicked on at the near post. Tunisia can clear and look to counter again. Final ball lacking. Tried to release Nassim Dendani.
Big!
And Tunisia hold on to the ball a touch here and to get a foothold back in this first half. It's been one-way traffic for 5 or 10 minutes really, aside from the odd unsuccessful counter-attack. Anas Cordy, exception amongst the largely French-based team. Plays his club football for Hanover in Germany. Rest all France or Morocco from the outfield players. Zouaghi also in Europe with Verona of Italy. Now a few of the travelling fans, those supporting the junior Carthage Eagles, we're looking to usurp the Flying Eagles in the group's top two. Either that or the Atlas Cubs, they won't mind. If they can grab a goal here, they will move into the top two. That, though, is calmly dealt with by Esedak. That's why he's wearing the armband. Tunisia win it back, though. Inside the Morocco half. Sprayed left to Dendani. To Bal. To Ukadida. Alela. Captain sends it forwards to Ayari. Drop deep. Here's the run of his right back to Bali. Into the middle. Koutoun under pressure. Can't shepherd that one out. Dendani wins it back. All a bit scrappy. Al Haddad looks to slow things down and then speed them up and break away. Nice footwork, but doesn't make it out of his own third. Eventually, more uncompromising clearance from Bakhti. Now, it's a little space here for Morocco. With Masoudi, 1 or 2 to run at. Going down again there, Debali. Again, doesn't get the decision. But Buznina, good running. At the other end, applying the pressure to Bakhti. Winning the free kick, the Moroccan centre-back, whilst one of his teammates remains prostrate on the turf, minus a boot. And it's Hamza Koutoun in the wars again. Medics on to treat the right back. It's been a reliable member of this Morocco backline thus far in the competition. They won't want to lose him. Helped back to his feet. It would appear sooner rather than later. Shouldn't be anything more serious than that. There was a collision between Buznina and Bakhti. Buznina, he has already been on a pretty big stage this season. Played a couple of games in the Europa League for Nice. Teenager, not afraid of the spotlight and not afraid to throw his weight around on that occasion, doing so a little too strongly. Tunisian fans, young and old, alike cheering on the Junior Eagles. Get back underway with a Zaiwani throw. Back to the left back who sends it long. It's not brought under control by Boukamir. Another unerring challenge. No love lost between these two old rivals. This time it's Ayari who's been left in a heap. Zaiwani late to the ball. It was a clear collision there with the lower shin of Khalil Ayari without getting the ball. Perhaps a touch fortunate to avoid a yellow there. No apology of any kind from the Moroccan. Remains 1-1 in the game between Nigeria and Kenya after that frantic first 15 minutes. Things have settled down there. So we're all as you were in terms of the group standings heading into the final 5 of the first 45. Look to play it out from the back, but again they played themselves into trouble. Knocked forwards to Nassim Dendani, waits for reinforcements. Decides to go it alone in terms of getting the cross away. Koutoum went with him, but another corner here for Tunisia. A better spell again for the Junior Carthage Eagles. Three shots in the match thus far, all of them on target. Everyone saved. Well, down in the box. There went Zayouani. Tunisia couldn't make the most of their extra man there. Get another opportunity to lift it into a dangerous position, but ultimately ends up with Ben Schausch, who is blocked off. And that will be a booking. Shake of the head from Mohamed Anan. But deemed cynical by the referee. Was it Anan or was it Ayari? Looked to be the former. If it's Ayari, he'll miss the next game. It was indeed Anan. There we go. Another allowed to be careful now for the next 50 minutes. Avoid a suspension. Taking one for the team there. Prevent the potential counter-attack. Oh, Anan will miss the next match. He was one on a yellow already. That is a costly free kick. Is it worth missing a potential quarter-final? One goal kick. Once again, no checking on the opposition from anyone. Player from each team there crying out in agony. Saad El Haddad, first for Morocco. And ultimately, Amin Boukamir, who remained down. But, all said and done, we will get back underway with nothing more than a throw. Was another clumsy challenge at best, this time from Anis Duval. Flick on wasn't going to test the Moroccan defence either way, but offside flag up against Faris Bouznina. Debali sent that up the touchline. Zayouani. I could just slow things down a touch. Look to ensure the final clear-cut chance of the first 45 falls their way, if anyone's. Bakti. Out to Zayouani on the left. Still the left back gets a good cross in. They bided their time. When the delivery came into the box, it was spot on. Made the most of the opportunity to put Morocco 1-0 up and tighten their grip on the top of the Group B standings. From bad to worse for Tunisia. Thomas Ouaghi seemingly done himself some harm in his attempt to deny Ergig. Lovely ball out to Zaouani. Turned this way and that. Whipped it right onto the forehead of his number 9. Hard to see in the replay what happened to Ouaghi a little earlier. Doesn't look that awkward of a fall. Maybe, yeah, the elbow just under his body a touch. Well, deserved celebrations on the sidelines for Morocco. It's been a first half which is largely flipped back and forth, momentum swinging. They carried it into the final stages of the first half and will surely have the lead at the restart. This could be a game-ending issue for Ouaghi. Does seem to be able to move the shoulder, so we'll see. I'm sure if they can, they'll try and soldier on through to half-time and properly assess it in the 15 minutes for the second half. We do get back underway now. Already fairly deep into first half stoppage time. A minute gone. That goal coming with seconds remaining of the first 45. Looking to test Ouaghi straight away. Seems to be able to run fine and make a decent clearance without too much of an issue. If he has to get that right arm behind a powerful shot, it might be a different story. Only 2 minutes of additional time. We've had 1.5 of those already. So that may be that, the final chance of the first half, producing the first goal. Offside flag up against Morocco. Tunisia get back underway quickly. I'm not sure there'll be time to send this forwards. The referee has the whistle in his mouth and indeed blows for half-time. Well, a match which had been in the balance for very nearly 45 minutes has swung the way of Morocco. The Atlas Cubs take the lead in the 44th minute through their number 9, Ayman Ergig, which puts them clear at the top of the Group B standings. 45 minutes to play. They are 2 points above Nigeria, 4 above their opponents today, who now are looking less of a sure bet for one of those best-ranked third-place spots. 45 minutes coming up, an important 45 minutes for both, but particularly for the junior Carthage Eagles. Far more of the ball, Morocco, as was the case pretty much throughout the first half, about 60% of the possession. They had fewer shots, though, than Tunisia, narrowly. Both had 2 on target. Most importantly, one of those 2 for Morocco found the back of the net. The header from Ergig, nothing Ouaghi could do, point-blank range. Tunisia have largely tried to play on the counter in the first 45. They might have to force the issue a touch more when we return in just under 15 minutes time for the final half of football in Group B. look back at the first half of this crucial game between Tunisia and Morocco at the Under-20 AFCON, the final round of group games in Group B. Morocco 1 point ahead of Tunisia at kickoff, top of the group on goal difference, above Nigeria. Any of the three could still find themselves in the final 8. Top 2, of course, automatic qualifiers, and also 2 of the 3 third place these teams will go through. Sent in low, but missed by everyone. Great free kick from Khalilai, all right. But no one on the end of it somehow. Sent to the middle, brought down. Brave keeping from Thomas Owagi. Throw himself at the feet of Ayman Egi. Not forwards by Bakhti. Here is Sayouani. Turns right, then left. Gets his cross away, and it's right onto the head of his number 9. And Ayman Egi does what all good number 9s do and heads that home. Morocco had the opener late in the first half. Trouble too for Zouaghi, seemingly landed awkwardly. Goes from bad to worse for Tunisia. Morocco, though, tighten their grip on the top spot in Group B with the opening goal. Half-time score in Ismailia will be Tunisia 0, Morocco 1.
La spalla, no, sono da giocare. La spalla, no, sono da giocare. Sono da giocare. La spalla.
Welcome back to Egypt for the second half of this third round of Group B games. A crucial meeting between Tunisia and Morocco on the final day in Group B. Kenya and Nigeria also meeting. Any of Kenya, Tunisia and Morocco could yet secure the 2 automatic spots in this group. But it's 1-0 to Morocco in this fixture between the 2 North African sides. Already top of the group coming in to these games, but now with a pretty thorough hold on top spot. Tunisia with it all to do. We'll need to turn things around. 3 points, not the worst tally in their hope to secure one of the 2 best third-place team spots in the quarterfinals, but a draw would do much better. A win would secure their spot and leave Morocco hoping for most likely that third-place spot, depending on the result between Kenya and Nigeria. And as you can see, 3 changes made at half-time: 2 for Morocco, 1 for Tunisia. Ben Ali comes on in place of Mohamed Anan. Anan booked in the first half and due to miss the quarter-final, so perhaps Abdoulaye Ben Sultan preparing for life without his midfielder. Whatever the reason, we are back underway with those fresh legs introduced. Will the changes have the desired effect for the 2 respective head coaches? Zayouani brought off for Morocco, left back, who grabbed the assist, put in the cross, which was headed home by Ergig. Number 9 opening the scoring. Can the other level things up at some point between now and the final whistle? Let's see if it's a more attacking approach from Tunisia now. To some extent, nothing left to lose. Well, they definitely left more space here. Here comes Ergig again. Forced a check back, left the ball a touch behind him. Did find a teammate though. One of the substitutes in Adam Boya. Boya has gone down right by the goal line, holding his right shin. Did well to keep it in initially, and well, that might be one for VAR to check over. Reserve judgment until a second viewing. Tunisian captain sliding in. Quick feet from Boya. The referee does have his finger to his ear. Initially let it go. The substitute, it would appear, has not earned a penalty. Referee happy to let things continue. It's into a decent area. Zouaghi did well to get a glove to that already in the wars. Left with what looked like an issue for his right shoulder as Ergig scored. But Seemingly no lasting damage done, nor then, nor the most recent punch which left him in a heap. Fired into a teammate there. Ismail Awad doing his best to get it under control. It does remain with Morocco. Away by Alela. Not how Tunisia would have hoped to have started this second half. Points could easily be enough to see them through. They would much rather have at least 4. They can't turn this one around. Of course, their advancement would be secured. But for now, they're on the back foot once again here. Dubal slips as he makes his clearance. Anywhere will do for the left back. Ended up at the feet of Bakhti. Look to launch another Moroccan attack. Brought down by Awad. Koutoun completes the 1-2. Awad's cross deflected, this time kindly for Zouaghi. A reminder of the hashtag there for you, Total Energies AFCON U-20. Follow along, join the conversation online at your social media platform of choice. Dubal and El Mokhtari. A new battle for the Tunisian left back. A costly slip there for Koutoun. Did well to regain his footing. Runs clean into Dubal. And it's Dendani who can bring it away. Nice change of direction, change of pace. Left forwards by Buznina. And on to left boot of the new number 9. Omar Ben Ali, though, firing that well over. Was in an offside position anyway, quite a tight call. But, he'll claim he knew the flag was coming and called that a rangefinder. Smart feet by Awad, seems to be operating on the right-hand side now in this reshuffle. For the second half, produced by Mohamed Wabi. Saad El Haddad, the other of the starting 11 to have made way. Perhaps thinking of resting players now in the controlling position in which they find themselves. Opportunity to test out some theories and give some lesser used players a chance to show what they can do. Ben Chauch, well out of his area, calmly heading that on to Amin Boukamir. Full of running, Ben Ali, and it's this time resulted in Buznina with the ball just outside the area. Options inside, it's back to Ben Ali. Buznina brings it down, shot blocked. Now Dubal with space, he takes it. And it's in. Tunisia started this half so well. Looked far more likely to get second goal, double their lead in the process, but it's gone the opposite direction. Stroke of luck, stroke of misfortune for Hamza Koutoun. Knew very little about that. Tunisia will take their equaliser however it comes. And perhaps Morocco's confidence to make a couple of changes, rest a couple of players, could come back to bite. Mohamed Wabi here. Nothing Ben Chouch could do. Just inside the post. And Anis Jubal, by hook or by crook, will probably be credited with the goal. It could be hugely important. Tunisia's chances of a quarter-final spot. Still a long way to go here, though. 54 minutes on the clock, so too 54 minutes in Cairo between Nigeria and Kenya. It's also 1-1 there. So, as we were at kickoff in Group B, 1 point extra apiece. Tunisia back into what would surely be a sufficient point tally to progress. Too much maths required. Potential permutations of Group A to try and figure out exactly how many points their third-placed team would have. Currently, Zambia in third in Group A, who would lose the points they gained against Tanzania. A 1-0 win there, a narrow one, 101st minute penalty. So 2 points currently for Zambia. Egypt, though, with 4. Yes, long story short, too complicated to really get into. So Tunisia just having to focus on their own game here, securing a decent result. Morocco will be a little nervy now, because if Tunisia do manage to turn this one around, they would move to the top of the Group B standings. Morocco would be looking to the match in Cairo, hoping Nigeria didn't find a winner against the Kenya side. Pointless from their first 2 games. Or it would suddenly be Morocco looking to Groups A and C, albeit with a minimum, of course, of 4 points. Almost certainly through to the quarters, the Atlas Cubs. But they'll want to keep up their unbeaten record thus far and finish the group with a win. They thought they were on their way to doing so. And now we are back all square for the final 35 minutes or so. Boasted 5 clean sheets in their previous 6 games at the final. Coming into this one, Morocco, only concession was the 3-2 win over Kenya on matchday 1, but having been so tight at the back in previous years, they've now succeeded again here, 2 of their 3 group games. Will have to score again if they want those 3 points. Been consistent across those previous editions. in each of the last 3 tournaments. Morocco won their opening group game, drew the second. Historically, when they've drawn the second, they've gone on to win the third. Did so in 2005 and 2021. Beating Angola 1-0 in the former and Tanzania 3-0 in the latter. All in all, their record in the final group games is 3 wins, 2 losses, never drawn one. Would that change here? Only 2 previous final group games for Tunisia. There are the other appearances at the competition coming before the format was changed to include the group stage. Both of those 2 previous final group games finished 2-1. They lost one to the Central African Republic in 2021 and 1-1 against Zambia last time out, 2023. Dendani to company. Is bundled over. And yellow card shown to the Moroccan substitute. An apology from El Mokhtari. Man known by many a name. Was a little clumsy. I've seen worse fouls escape without a yellow in this game. A little unfortunate. Born in Spain, number 23. Also currently playing for the Spanish side in Elche, CF Lusitano. Committing his youth international career to Morocco. Plenty for the referee to keep an eye on in the middle. You know how important the next goal is. And as Ali Layari prepares to take that one, referee just making him stop short. He wants another word with at least the Tunisia captain, Mohamed Al-Ela. Also Hamza Koutoun, determined to make amends for his role in the equaliser. He's onto the head of the half-time substitute for Tunisia, but Ben Ali's header, what's it made? Ben Schausch dived to his left and was always drifting wide. All the way through to Zouaghi. Half an hour remaining here in Ismailia. Game truly in the balance. Possession stats have evened up a touch since half-time, 42-58 compared to 40-60. And Tunisia currently with the wind in their sails, seeing more of the ball and a decent amount of it in the opposition half. Ben Ali blocked off there by Ismail Baouf. Schausch watches on. It's flicked on. That's when he dealt with this. The shot from range reflected again, or perhaps not. Looked like it took a nick. On its way through. No appeals for a corner though. So either off a teammate or just an optical illusion there. It's Mohamed Alila tried to lead his team by example with a goal. U-20 really threatening in the first half. So he's had a frustrating second 45 so far. Morocco in general, whilst they flew out of the blocks after the restart, just looking a little less sure of themselves now. It's a nice change of direction from Adam Boaya. Here's Uma Saudi. Space on the edge for Bauer, but he doesn't get it under control. Frustrated with himself. Ben Ali trying to let that run, but U-20 was wise to it. Cordy and Bukadida calm. They played that out. Meherzi as well. It's asking too much of Omar Ben Ali. The referee's just paused proceedings here for an issue for a Moroccan defender. It was in fact Awad, who's moving a little awkwardly. Right winger. Another who plays his football in France for Lens. In his final days of teenage life. Birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. Mohamed Wabi need to do something here. This is not going to plan. Looks a little animated. This game may be getting away from his side, who looked pretty comfortably in control. Even if they are all but secure in a spot in the quarterfinals one way or another, they'd much rather finish this one top of the group. Now, backside who are up against it again. Dentani racing away. Dealt with it, but they're up against it at the moment. With a little over a quarter of this match remaining. Boya doing his bit in throwing that out from the back. Knocked forwards by Awad, seems to be moving okay now. Ergig, nice ball through, but Issa Habri has closed down. One back. That will, however, float harmlessly out of play. Issa Habri, 19 years of age, currently playing for the Rennes Youth Academy, the Rennes B team. Getting 45 minutes here to show Mohamed Wabi what he can do. Collision between Meherzi and Ismail Awad. Genuine attempt at the ball from the latter, but Meherzi stooping low and deemed a high boot by the referee. Now into the final quarter of the game. Still mostly one-way traffic for Tunisia, and here's the chance for Christina. Had time and space there, but got it all wrong. Headed back to him. Had time to take the touch, of course, closed down pretty rapidly by Balf and Awad. He would have expected to hit the target from there, or at least come close to doing so. Missed by Dendani, but managed to get back and knock it to Dubal. Ben Ali runs into Balf off the ball, left the Moroccan centre-back holding his face. Well, there's been a development in Cairo, and perhaps not the one that those watching on would have been expecting. Kenya have restored their lead. 2-1 now. Just over 20 minutes to play. James rather changes the outlook of the group once again. Good news for Morocco. Tunisia move level on points with the Flying Eagles. That costly defeat, meaning that their head-to-head keeps them in third. They still need a second here to be sure of progression, but if they can get it, it will now almost certainly guarantee them top spot, barring a late turnaround in Cairo. And so to Morocco now, looking in a much better position. 4 teams covered by just 2 points. Too little, too late for Kenya. No way of them moving up into third place. Even if Tunisia lose, head-to-head will keep the young Carthage Eagles ahead. The head-to-head giveth, the head-to-head taketh. Meanwhile, the referee giveth a free kick to Morocco. First chance to put the ball into the Tunisian box in some time. It was Khatoun who was caught from behind. And well, a triple change in the offing here for Abdoulaye Ben Sultan. Out heads Khalil Ayari, who's been quieter in the second half. Most of the attack coming down the left-hand side. So too, Nassim Dendani. As they are replaced by Waidi Isawi and Kusei Matcha. Final change will be Anas Kordi, who makes way for Elias Dawi. 3 sets of fresh legs in the attacking half of this Tunisian setup. Dawi joins the defensive ranks for now. The attacking half of the pitch, but he is a more defensive-minded midfielder. Really prompted the ball immediately. Aminala Meherzi there, unable to keep that one in. Morocco will have a corner. This could still go either way. Wonder if the message has been passed on by Mohamed Wabi to his players. A draw is enough to almost guarantee them top spot now. A win, of course, will guarantee them top spot, whatever happens. However, that corner cleared away, only to the edge of the box, but it flew back in from the right boot of Hossam Esadak. Captain's shot was blocked, and Habri unable to rebuild that attack. Just one change remaining then for, well, both teams. As I finish that sentence, the final double change made by Mohamed Wabi. On comes Jonas El Abdelawi and Muadaya, the man with the armband on match day 1. Ismail Awad makes way, straight swap on the wing between those two. That's it, the final throw of the dice from Mohamed Wabi. Cleared by Balf. Tunisia will start again from the back. Well, there's been another goal in Cairo, as you can see from those standings. Nigeria equalise again, as was the case early on. Kenya's lead lasting just a few minutes. It was 7 minutes in the first half, 5 minutes this time. A penalty for the Flying Eagles converted by Daniel Bamaye. So once again, we're back as you were, just as we were at kickoff. Another swing of the pendulum in Group B. All very cagey. One goal either way in both games could change everything in terms of the two sides in the automatic qualification spot. The jeopardy certainly the highest, though, for Tunisia out of the three sides. Kenya and Morocco would be pretty confident in qualifying with 4 points. Whatever happens elsewhere, into the final 15, Morocco with a free kick just outside the final third. Floated in, but harmlessly, nowhere near the head of Ismail Balf. Has to retreat back to his defensive duties. Jones El Abdelawi waiting to get involved for the first time of note since that straight swap with Air Geek. Open the scoring late in the first half. Another born outside Morocco in Oslo, Norway. Jones El Abdelawi currently playing his club football in Spain for Celta Fortuna. was a Norway youth international from under 15 to under 18 level for switching to Moroccan colours. Is of Moroccan descent. 3 cousins who are also former or current professional footballers. Abdullah Ben Sultan watching on what will be a nervier final 10 minutes for his side and the opposition, you feel. And Istubal, that crucial deflected shot. Passing on some instructions, whether they came from his brain or those on the sidelines. Still in good spirits though. Nerves showing or not. Dinner and a show for the young Tunisian in the crowd. How much of a show will the young Carthage Eagles be putting on? Mohamed Alela barking out instructions, as he is entitled to do as captain. Waiting to come back on. Long legs there of Dowie. Nicked that one away. Wins it back to Masha. Dowie won't be able to stretch out a long leg this time though. Nonetheless, it's one back, and Masha will let fly from distance. And that was not too far away. Certainly had Yanis Ben Shelsh thinking. Felt the need to dive. May have gone out already, but played on. And Masha, it was a little further away than it looked from our angle, but still. Decent effort from range. And Shelsh making sure he had his angles covered. 13 shots in total. Tunisia with a few more. 3 each on target. Wondered if that was about to be number 4 for Morocco, as it was pulled back by one of their fresh sets of legs in El Abdelawi. No one though waiting in the middle to take advantage. And now it's Tunisia who are struggling to get the ball out of their half. Koutoun. It's on from Esadak to Boukamir, his fellow midfielder. Ultimately comes to nothing. The clearance is brought down once again by the Moroccan right back. Remains 2-2 in Cairo. It remains 1-1 here in Ismailia. Both games at the pinnacle of Group B's action remain in the balance. 7.5 minutes to play plus stoppage time. knocked forwards by Esadak. Continues on with the armband despite the introduction of Muad Dayak. He had to ride out the storm a touch, Morocco. After conceding that equaliser, the momentum swung towards their opponents. They have survived and now finishing the game having produced more of the attacking football over the last 5 minutes. Now bursting down the left-hand side. And drawing a foul and even a yellow card for Kusai Masha or Aziza Habri. Masha, who let fly at the other end a moment ago, using that power in that challenge, but the latest to enter the referee's book, just a little late. It was actually, I think, a bit of a miss kick there coming up for Habri, but ultimately worked to his favour. As Mohamed Wabi perhaps asks why that was only a yellow. Heavy times for Tunisia. Their hard-earned parity here will be tested. Free kick right by the byline as Habri limps off around the corner flag. We'll hope to get back involved again. It's Bouma Saudi who will take. Born in Eindhoven, plays his football in the Netherlands as well, for Den Bosch. Can he be the hero for Morocco? Well, it's not him, but his delivery results in what could easily be a winner for Morocco, which has arrived by the boot of Muad Dayak. The armband in the opener for Morocco at this tournament, and he's finished by carrying his side on. Oh, it's Bakhti, it's Ismail Bakhti, the centre-back, the man on the spot. As that free kick caught out Thomas Ouaghi. Smartly done by Ilyas Bouma Saudi. Trying to catch Ouaghi unaware from the acute angle. Thinking about the cross. Turned out to be a cross, but only by the gloves of the keeper. Ouaghi effectively knocking it down for Ismail Bakhti. And the 18-year-old Sturmgrat centre-back has restored Morocco's lead. Oh, Tunisia on top for so much of this second half. But as we approach the 90th minute, they find themselves behind once again. A late blow in the first half, a late blow in the second half. Their tally is reduced down to 3 points. Will that be enough to see them through to the quarterfinals. Certainly less comfortable than they were a few minutes ago. Can they level things up once again? Have a free kick in the Morocco half. There's Boomer Saudi. His free kick led to the winner as things stand. 90 seconds remain of the scheduled 90 minutes. Final change for Mohamed Wabi sees El Makawi come on to beef up that Moroccan defence. Nothing comes of the free kick, and instead there'll be a chance for a third that would surely kill the game off. Breaking away there was El Makawi, the masked marauder, nearly immediately causing trouble for the Tunisian defence. His first involvement. Koutoun. This is going to suit Morocco very nicely with the ball in the Tunisia half in the 90th minute, but by the time I finish the sentence, they'd won it back, but not for long. Here come Morocco again. Carried forwards by Boya. He felt he was blocked off. Referee not interested in his protests. Esadak flicks it on. See the frustration of El Makawi. Only on the pitch for a few seconds, but already caught up in the emotion. Morocco able just to knock it about on the edge of the Tunisia half. Keep things ticking over as we enter 5 minutes of stoppage time. Passing it around in triangles. This is the kind of Morocco we expected to see. They've not been at the races for the entirety of this match day 3 meeting. They seem to be set to get over the line with the 3 points in the end. Thomas Ouaghi fouled, not for the first time this evening. But free kick in his own box. A long way from the equaliser that Tunisia need. Instead it's Morocco on the counter. El Abdelawi carries it on all the way through to Ouaghi, and it's going to be forced home. And it's game, set and match Morocco. Jones El Abdelawi carried it all the way from the halfway line. Looks like it had been saved by Ouaghi, but not for the first time this evening. Not for the first time in the last 10 minutes. The Tunisian keeper's save fell right to the feet of a Moroccan attacker. It's all unravelled here late on. Brought it down, shrugged off the challenge of Hassan Esadak, put it one side of Boukamir, kept on going, and then beat Ouaghi to the loose ball after his first effort was stopped. A toe poke home, a third goal, and surely all 3 points for Morocco. Still 2-2 in the game between Nigeria and Kenya, and stoppage time there as well. And so as we wait to get back underway, as that goal is just checked over by VAR and cleared clearly. It is Morocco back comfortably at the top of the Group B standings, 2 points clear of Nigeria. And with a buffer, even if the Flying Eagles are to grab a late winner in their game, it won't be enough to usurp Morocco at the top. Tunisia be disappointed not just to have conceded late here, but conceded twice. Could goal difference become a factor in terms of who will be the two best third place teams? There's now sits at -1, as you can see there. Could easily come into play. Of course, no head-to-heads with teams in other groups. Goal difference far more likely to play a part. Current third place team in Group A, Zambia, have a goal difference of +1, albeit including their win over Tanzania, which will be wiped out. In Group C, Senegal also with -1. Fine margins, as ever, at the end of the group stages. Morocco, though, won't have to worry about the permutations. A clearance, potentially a final one, by Ismail Bakti. And Mohamed Wabi and his young players have got the job done here and will push on into the knockout rounds. There'll be one final corner to defend. It's taken short. Sent in by Dubal. And it was set to be Hero with the equaliser. But as it would prove to be, it was nothing more than a consolation. Final whistle blows in Ismailia. And the final score is Tunisia 1, Morocco 3. Flurry of action late on, and 2 goals for the Atlas Cubs. Ismail Bakti and Jones El Abdelawi, both pouncing on saves from Thomas Swaggy, which was spilt right to their feet, mere yards from goal. Morocco will head into the quarterfinals as group winners. Tunisia will have a nervous wait.
شنو نقول؟ El partido y contento por los 3 puntos y pasar como líderes del grupo, y nada, ahora a descansar y a pensar en cuartos. Gracias.